With that said, let's move on to some football. And the one thing I actually didn't check in this little drop-down menu, the toughest places to play. Where do we rank? Because we have been a pretty good team at home. Ohio Stadium is the most difficult place to play in the nation right now. Oh, good! Notre Dame Stadium 6th, and we're going there towards the end of the year. Are we in the top 25? We are! Navy Marine Corps' Memorial Stadium listed as the 21st most difficult place to play. We have an 11-game winning streak at home. So, fair play, despite having one of the smaller stadiums. So there you go. There is that. Oh, that's right. We are going to Soldier Field. Thank God. You're right. We made it a neutral site game. Thank you for reminding me. I'm happy now. Never mind. It's great. Everything's great. Week 1, we don't have a game, but let's get a look here at what we're looking like recruitment-wise. So for the tight end, Jacob Rust, the #1 prospect in the nation, we have a fighting chance. And actually, it looks like we have a fighting chance for every single tight end, which is great. So let's start getting those scholarships out there. And we don't have the Saban effect yet, so we can't get automatic commits. All of them were scouted, though. Yeah, they were. Good. At tackle, Matt Gold and Jeff Stevenson. We're looking okay there, too. Scholarships. We got Michael Archer. You can get cozy here. You can. That's one of the things that, you know, I guess I've taken pride in terms of this community, is I'm not going to put up with bullshit and people being dicks to other people for silly fucking reasons. So, with that, Michael Archer, we scouted him, right? Yes, we did. Let's offer him a scholarship, too. Terry Jackson, we're in the lead for. We need more O-linemen on the board. It's true, and it is the plan, but we do have some good ones there. Pat Morris. So far, every single person we added to the board in week 1, we have a really good shot for. This is tremendous news out of the gates. Absolutely tremendous. The one corner, Maurice McCollum. Looking good. Send him a scholarship. And then the safeties. Now, these were the fastest guys on the board. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be the best. We needed 3 safeties total. All 3 of those guys are looking good. And all 3 of them are within striking distance. We might have a little bit of trouble for Chase Roberts. The red X means that they are in a pipeline state for us. So if you have a good amount of people from a state on your team, it becomes easier to get said players. Right now, though, we don't have too many pipeline states because I haven't been recruiting from one specific state. So if you wanted, you could do a Florida-only run, and then theoretically it would be easier to continually get players from the state of Florida. Buck, take it easy. We love you, and we will see you soon. Also, you're 34 months up. Right? Yeah, 2.5 years. That's what I've been giving people the thing, isn't it? VIP? I don't know. Buck deserves VIP. Buck, we're gonna play a certain rec fest at some point, hopefully in the near future. Get you back on that mower. Take it easy. And thank you for the 3 months on the primer. A couple different ways. I mean, is it just Bell? Is it Nzabel? NZ-Bell? Is it New Zealand Bell? I don't know. Let me know. It's been a 3-month resub, and every time I see the username, I'm like, I just never know which way to go. Case in point, the Utah run, we can only get recruits out of Texas. That's true. That is true. And it's also true that we might lose all pipeline states, but if we do, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. All right, let's see. The strong safeties. Just looking good for all of them. These were the best of the bunch, and they're all looking good. Man, if we can hit for all of these players... All right, the athletes, looking good there too. Ryan, oh my God. Look at that for Ryan Newberry. NZ-Bell works. I intentionally don't really have a right way to say it. Fair enough. This guy could be a wideout. This guy could be a running back. This guy could be a quarterback. Jesus Christ. That is just an unbelievable player. Holy shit. That's insane. Also, my God, the next name on the list, Andrew Wood. Your research today, if you are a fan of rock music, Mother Love Bone, you gotta look up Andrew Wood, who is the lead singer of the band Mother Love Bone. Passed away from drug problems before their first album dropped, but their first album is fucking sick. That band is really good. And if you are a fan of Pearl Jam, for example, like I am, a lot of that band from they were a part of Mother Love Bone first, and then shout out to Andrew Wood. Shout out to Andrew Wood. R.I.P. And a scholarship for you, Brian Neal. Still an 80. Okay. Well, in terms of everyone that we were looking at, they're all fucking fantastic. My concern is that I don't know if delegating the remaining points between all 32 people will work. You know, it's like, do we just target the best of the best out of the gates? Passed away in Seattle from a heroin overdose. Sound familiar? Yeah, well, That's the one issue about being a fan of a lot of the music that came out of Seattle in the late 80s, early 90s is there's a lot of death. Given that Alice in Chains is one of my favorite bands of all time. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Fortunately. But it's all that's the weird thing, right? That's the weird thing. Like, so I watched a lot of like music video recaps like, oh, these songs are the most popular, these were the worst songs. And it's just, you know, people take a shot at a lot of things, even if it's like something as simple as like, oh, personal experience, oh, it's another breakup song, whatever. It's like, man, it's just, you can tell when there's that real emotion behind a certain song and like how experiences lead to those songs. Grunge music's a great fucking example of that. But even like modern day, like I never got the idea of just being like, oh, it's another one of these songs. It's like, man, a lot of the best music of all time comes from places of personal pain, you know? It can make the songs be weird to listen to, but it's fact. Anyway, let's bring up the old calculator app, as we do, and screw it. 6,500, you minus the 1950, you divide that by 29. That's 155 points per person. That is not enough. It simply isn't. So what we are going to do... What are we going to do? Fuck. Saw a top 10 worst band of the 90s list from Rolling Stone, voted by fans. Nirvana was 7, and I punched again. I mean, the problem with Nirvana is it's reached the point where they hit the over... Number one, Rolling Stone's a lot of clickbait. The thing about Nirvana, of course, is they hit the point where overhyped, in a sense. Just because they were talked about so much. And again, like a Nirvana t-shirt, for example, became what the Master of Puppets shirt was for Metallica, or the Misfits logo. It just became what a lot of people identify as a shirt, to where there's a lot of kids now where it's just like, I don't know what the fuck that. I just thought it was a cool shirt. So. And then there are some people like Frank and Chad who's just like, yeah, Nirvana's kind of mid, which is fine too, because hey, music's subjective. You know that if you've been here long term. For me, I don't really give a shit what someone listens to. I've never been judgmental of music. Like that, like at a time I was as a kid, and then I gotta be honest, it was around the time I was in high school, and Justin Bieber was starting to become a thing. And I had friends who were into a lot of punk music and stuff like that, which I still enjoy. But they were the type where it's just like, oh, Justin Bieber, that shit. And I'm like, it was one of those things where it's just like, who gives a shit though? It's just been my standpoint for a while. It's like what you like. Like, I'll make fun of people, and there's like, if you listen to Nickelback, you're cool. I'll make fun of people who listen to Nickelback. If you like it, fine. I do think some of their songs are objectively horrendous. Chad Kroeger, the lyricist, Ooh, he gets a little bit, there's a 4-letter word that starts with R and ends in E, and he gets a little bit E with it, you know? In some of those lyrics. But anyway, music. It's fun. Someone mentioned have the cutoff for tight ends be a 75 overall. I gotta be honest, I think that's the right way to go. If we can cut a few... Rake. Yes. Yes. If we can cut a few players off the list, we probably should. And none of those guys we have like an insane lead for. Again, we only need one tight end. Any of these guys would suffice. The tackles, we have to focus on both of them. Got Archer and Jackson. We only technically needed one O-lineman, but if we can get all these guys, that'll be fine. We needed a defensive tackle, but Pat Morris was too good to not go after. We need to go after all of these guys anyway. And then there's the safeties, which the corner is included in that. Probably need 2 tight ends. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm leaving them, yeah. Oh, and then the... Yes, he wouldn't even have the points I thought we did because I didn't give all the athletes scholarships. There we go. At least I missed Newberry. Okay, so we cut 3 players off the list. Reset the points really quickly. Again, if we bring up yield calculator, divide that by 26, that's now 170 points per person, which again, still isn't enough. So what we'll do... Fuck, what do we want to do? I want to make sure we get the best of the best. Do we cut out these 275s? At least Josh Stewart. We could still fight for Pittman because we're close. Minimum 250 needed. Honestly, you kind of nailed it. That's what I was thinking too. If we cut out Josh Stewart, we cut out Pittman. We got to leave all the O-linemen there. We got to leave all those defensive linemen there as well. And again, I can't really afford... Well, we could cut out the 75s for the secondary. It's a bit of a risk. But that also means we're just naturally putting more points onto people. Again, we need 3 safeties in total. So if we cut these dudes out and go with those 4, if we can get 3 out of 4, that'll be pretty good. And then we have the athletes. So again, this is a bit risky. So 65 minus the 2050, divide that by 19. That's 234 per person. 234 is not bad, especially because we have the scholarship offers in this week. Now you pray everyone wants to sign here. Right, but we are maximizing the points that we're putting into the best of the best. And I don't hate that. 234 will have to suffice. You know what, 230 will have to suffice. It's a little bit lower than what we wanted, but it is a hell of a lot better than 170. And this is the first season where we have the boost for visits. Now, there is a good chance a lot of these guys could fall off the board immediately, but I think those that don't, we fight for these guys hard. And just try to make sure that we end up with the best of the best. But given that it was 234, if we go 230, the holdover will add up for some of the top people. And we'll see. No flow, what's going on though? I'm doing well. We had a late start here tonight, but it's been a fun stream so far. Let's see, Brian Neal. LSU stealing players the most, yeah. They were a problem for us last year too. Newberry. $235 on everybody that we can. It just leaves out the bottom 3. Okay, that's going to be our approach for week 1. A little bit scary, but first week scouting is always scary. Let's be honest. It always is. It's just a whole lot of uncertainty in regards to how players are going to work themselves out here. So, whew. All right. All right. Well, we are ranked in the top 10 still. Of course, we were number 7. We're now up to number 6. Getting ready for our first game of the season against ECU. Okay, that's right. Those leftover points are because of the scouting and the scholarships. That worried me for a second. Okay. Tight ends. Rust, we're 800 back. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay. All right. That's not great news. We're going to give it another week to see if we can battle back, but that's not great. That's good. Not quite as good. That's okay. That's tremendous. Thank you, Terry. Not great. Not great. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, we're looking good at DT at least. Looking good. That's okay. Ooh. Oh, man. And the athletes, we're looking good for Brian Neal. We're okay for Andrew Wood, and okay. I'm not going to give up on anybody that's there yet. We are going to have more points to divvy up this week, which is good. So if we put everybody at 235, just leave the freaking calculator open, but 6,500 minus the 4,465, divide that by 19. That's an extra 105 points per people. I'm not going to get rid of anybody yet. Not going to get rid of anybody. I need to leave this up. I'm just going to move this over. So obviously 235 plus the 105. We have 340. I'm not giving up on anybody yet. These were our top choices. And in previous seasons, I would give up pretty early. At this point, I'm not giving up until it's clear that we have no chance in hell. I'm going to stay. I'm going to fight. Other teams have turned it around with really good visits. I'm going to fight to the death for these guys because we're probably even further back for the dudes that we took off the list last week. So we're going to keep fighting. Never give up, never surrender. John Cena. Drew Peterson, didn't that guy... Was Drew Peterson? Is it Drew Peterson? I know who you're referring to. Yeah, that was the... Yeah. That was indeed a... Not a serial killer. But, yeah. Well, hey. We have interesting recruits here, don't we? Okay. All right. It is our first game of the season. Last year, our hopes and dreams were dashed in week 1. That was against Syracuse, though. This is against East Carolina. We have played East Carolina quite a few times in the past. Of course, we were previously in the same conference. No longer. We have John Paul Jones at a 99 overall as quarterback. We have an absolutely absurdly stacked defense. This needs to be something. This needs to be a win, a convincing win.
Hi everybody, Reese Davis.
And a rainy night in Annapolis. Let's go. The weather effect is on our side. It's a season with redemption on the mind. We're going to be super effective against fire types. All right, here we go, boys. Here we go. It should be a blowout. The team that we have, the playbooks that we have, this should be the most no-touching victory of no-touchings. I mean, the Pirates should be effective with rain, but also we caused trouble for them on the seas, you know? 21-14. We had 21 unanswered points. It's now 21-14 at the end of the first. That's not great. For obvious reasons. 24-14. 31-14. As that gets us to halftime. Okay. Let's go through the third. I hope I don't have to play it all here. 34-14. 41-14 heading into the fourth. I'm willing to hit the button now.
No touching! No touching!
No touching. In the first game of the season, it is that convincing victory we needed it to be. 55-14 over the Pirates of Eastern Carolina. It's a bit of a rough start towards the... I mean, it was a good start and then kind of a rough start. And then 3 straight shutout quarters to end the game. You love to see it. In his first game back, oh baby, for the first time. He's done it. 4 for 5, 52 yards and a touchdown for the freshman. As John Paul Jones, 356 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks allowed by the O-line. Pure domination. Look at the running game. Jesus Christ, how many people got a carry? Holy God. Rushing touchdowns with invalid username, who plays freaking quarterback, running back, and wideout. Our fullback had a 1-yard touchdown. Jesus. And then wideout, Domingo both meets did well. 2 touchdowns for Torpedo Dingy. I mean, that was just a dominant game. That was dominant. 55-14, a game that we should win, and we did win. I'm so nervous for Notre Dame later on this season. Jesus Christ. What is that first player's name? Which one? We got some weird ones today. We got some weird ones. All right. Recruitment-wise, both meets Domingo. Domingo both meets. I think that was a Cody name. I want some rain over here. I hate the cold, ice, and snow. I hate the cold. I hate the cold. I hate the snow, and I hate the cold. For anybody who doesn't remember, anytime it's mentioned, shout out to Hey Arnold and the Mailman. One of the best episodes of Hey Arnold ever. Hate the snow. Hate the snow. Hate the cold, and I hate the snow. Number 4 in the nation, your Navy midshipman. Trailing only Bama, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. Wow, that is the highest we've ever been ranked. It could be a very special season. What's the recruiting look like before we play San Antonio? Crash, I love you too. At tight end, we're trailing for Rust, but I'm not giving up. We're trailing for Rust. What the hell are you sharing from TikTok, though? Scared. I'm scared. Ah, the Jeopardy category. Yeah, Jeopardy the other night had 1980s pro wrestling as a category. It was beautiful. Shiz. Do we give up on him? We are 1,000 points back, essentially, for every single tight end that's there. Fuck. That's not good. That's not good. We might have to reverse course here. Are there any 4 stars who are under 30%? There's Brian Walton, but he was a bust. It looks like it's going to be 3 stars. I don't think we're going to be able to make a play for any of those 4 stars. Caleb Cooper. We can get into the conversation maybe for Caleb Cooper. And then Josh Stewart. We're 1,000 points back as well. Aside from that, it's only 3 stars. There was a 77 overall up top. Let me look. I wasn't looking at the 3 stars. I was only looking at the 4 stars. I should have been looking at overalls, though. You're right. There is a 77 in Eric Phillips. There was another 70 there. There's a 78 in Wally Singleton. It's actually a good idea to look at these guys. Good shout. Good shout. Anybody else with a super high rating? We're going to have to make a decision if we want to change course with the tight ends or if we keep fighting. But, man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So there's Caleb Cooper. I need to reset the points. Caleb Cooper is 100% scouted. Let's fight for him. Eric Phillips. Jesus. Definitely fight for him. And Singleton. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have a choice there about who we're fighting for. I think we take out the top 4 tight ends, right? Like, the odds we land them are so slim right now. Fucking, how the hell is Monroe in 3rd? I'm going to leave everybody there for the moment. We're 1,000 points out on Jeff Stevenson at tackle. We're taking, if we're 1,000 points back, we're taking him out again. We're just sticking with it. It's the smart move. Just do it. There's certain players I don't want to see go, but it's got to be done. The fact of the matter is, for most players, we're looking at 3 stars, maybe the occasional 4-star at this point. We can double check for 4 stars. Fuck. No one should want to go to Monroe. I mean, hey, I've never been, so I can only be so mean, you know? We're out on Newberry. That sucks. Okay. We got 10 players left. At the very least, all 10 get max points. That's our starting point. And we'll see how many people are left. Davis, the Moritz Sider amount of months. Davis, thank you for the 53, my friend. I hope you are well. I appreciate the heck out of you. How are you enjoying Pokemon with guns, by the way? Okay, so really quickly, we needed a tight end or 2, and we still got 3 potentially on the list. We'll hold off looking for anybody else until I'm a Raging Cajun alumni. Fair enough. I get to be mean to Monroe. Fair enough. I've never been to Louisiana. Cross it off the list at some point. Shout out to K-Bot Microwave. K-Bot, thank you. Or do you prefer microwave? Thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate that. I hope you've enjoyed the fun here. Well, so far it's pretty interesting. No guns, only fire, sticks, and pickaxe. So you start off stabbing Pokemon. So you're basically going through the Stone Age. You figure out how to craft spears, you gotta work your way up to guns, and eventually you'll probably be able to drop a nuke on a Pokemon, is what you're telling me. Interesting. Microwave is my nickname when I play basketball. I need the story. Microwave was my nickname when I played basketball. I am not continuing this stream until you tell me why. There is no way there is not a story behind that. I need to know. Is it because you were a bench warmer? Get hot instantly, stay cold for a while. Fair. Oh, it's a good nickname too. That's a good name too. Bravo to whoever came up with that. That's tremendous. Bravo. Thank you for sharing. Really quickly, task at hand. We needed 1 lineman, technically. We have 2 on the board still. We needed a defensive tackle. We have 2 on the board. We got to look at safeties. I played D3 in Kentucky. My coach came up with it. Well, I hope that coach gets paid enough because they deserve it. At the very least, I mean, put him on television because that person's got a sense of humor. I appreciate it. We need to go look at more safeties. That is top priority. The court's now named for him. As it should. Name the building for him, damn it. All right. Probably not an original thing, but I don't even care. I still love it. It's the first time I've heard it, so it's new to me. All right. We are only going to have 3 stars left at safety, is my guess, except for Brian Nixon. Okay. All right. So, it is technically free safeties. Again, 30% is typically our cutoff. This 2 stars is 75. We'll scout him out. 67, 66, a 4-star in Mark Taylor. 66. 71, Leon Hill. 76, Brian Smith. My other brother's name was Dehydration. My older brother's nickname was Hydration. I thought it was Dehydration for a second. Bet you can guess why. I have a pretty good guess. Oh, that's awesome. Ah, shit. All right, focus. Don't want to miss anybody. Another 70. Why did I expect Justin's name to be Jane Seymour? Blew a 5-1 lead in NHL 2K10. The Devils won 6-5 in overtime. Damn, Davos, did you record it? Better have had OBS up. All right, we need to scout out some safeties here. Let's get a bunch of people added to the list. Our initial targets, it didn't work out too well. Are we going to be able to find anybody else here to kind of recover? A lot of the JUCO transfers end up being sick, huh? That honestly doesn't bother me. Did Revamped fix where spark scores give away if they're a bust or a gem? I don't know because I've never paid attention to the spark scores. I have never once paid attention to the spark scores, to be honest. I can only be honest. I've never cared. That is always just like, yeah, it's there. I'm not using it though, so. Like, it would be nice if it's over a 70, they'll be good. Really? Interesting. So then theoretically, let's see if we can find a good example here then. So at safety, can I find somebody over a 70? Well, right now it's not working out too well for me. So. Well, we picked the worst position to try. Okay. So Hill's a 76. He's a 4-star, 74 overall. I mean, that's one that's not really telling us much we wouldn't already know. But, I mean, I presume he will be very good. Okay, well, he's not a gem, but he is good. So maybe they fixed it. But it's also not surprising that that guy's really good, right? All right, and then Aaron Palmer. 76 is gem. Fair enough. Well, anyway, let's keep looking here. Ooh, James Brown. Goes with the gem. Get Adam Davis in there. And then the other safeties, DJ Evans, Cedric Nicholson, also a gem, and Victor Lewis. Hello, gems. All right. Well, let's get DJ Evans there. And let's sort this by OVR. Brown had a low spark score. It was in the 60s. Well, there you go. I guess it did fix it then. Anybody under a 75 is going to get the axe here. And now it's just those dudes, right? Sort by rank. Under 20%, 25%. Yeah, I was going to say, I normally go 30. Mobski, good morning to you. When did you just wake up? All right, we need to offer scholarships to these guys. And then if we have any points left, we'll put it on them. All right, let's see what we can do here. I should probably just do the math and not be lazy. So 6,500 minus 6,235. That leaves 265 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. That is an extra 37 points, so we can pretty much go... Say good evening, but it's technically morning. Fair enough. We can go 40 points per player if I haven't fucked up the math, and I did fuck it up a little bit. Let's get the extra points on James Brown. Let's get the extra point on James Brown, because fucking James Brown, come on. So we'll see if we have any luck in the scouting. San Antonio, our old stomping grounds, they are next. C+ rating for them. This is another game that should feature a victory. I hope. I mean, 97 offense. Again, our first official Pac-12 game in our rebuilt Pac-12. What year is this? 2020. So this is our 7th season? Our 7th season. We had our initial head coach. We got fired after 3 years. Had to start from scratch with a brand new head coach. And yeah, he's been here for 4 years now. So.
Hi, everybody. Reese Davis.
Oh, the home sweet dome. I missed that San Antonio run. It's up on the second YouTube channel in full. There should be a playlist for it. But our San Antonio run was awesome. We turned, it was like Tulane. The Tulane ones lost the time because I didn't record it for YouTube. But we have traditionally done so well with teams in dome stadiums. Whether or not it's Tulane or San Antonio. Dome, sweet dome. Okay, bud, I appreciate that. That's what we do around here. That's what we do around here. I bounce from game to game, but any type of sports game, you will find me on its franchise mode throughout the year. Obviously, like them, you know, whether or not it's the more recent ones or some of the classics, it's what we do. There's an occasional bit of online play, like, you know, NHL or FC with friends, but more often than not, this is what we're doing. I missed the completely empty Superdome in early Tulane. Dude, there were like 12 people there. There were like 12 people when we started at Tulane. It was great. NCAA 14, NCAA 10. Ooh. So see, you know, the funny thing is, I was looking up certain NCAA games to play. I'm like, do I want to go back to Revamped? Do I want to go to 06 and the next mod? There's a lot of those 360 PS3 era NCAA football games that I've just never played. So I've been very tempted to go back, but I'm like, which one? And it's like a lot of them just built up to what this one was. 13 I have a lot of experience with. NCAA 10 basketball is good. We tried that. It's a bit wonky though. If you're using a really bad school, we could just never land recruits. It was very, very difficult to land recruits for some reason. So the college hoop games were probably better. 2K5 I remember. 2K8's obviously the super hyped one. So. All right, first quarter here against San Antonio. Both teams 1-0 on the season. The Roadrunners up 14-7 after one. Okay, make it 14-14, 21-14, 24-14. As they fail to score late. Okay, 24-14 at halftime. Not bad. I'd love for this to be another no touching. 31-14. 34-14. As we start the fourth quarter, we're looking good. It's definitely not done, but we are looking good. 41-14. It's done, baby.
No touching! No touching! No touching!
They didn't need us. They didn't need us. 44-14 as we conquer the Alamo Dome. Slow start. Yeah, you're right. Definitely not a first quarter team because this is the second week in a row that we have shut out our opponents after the first quarter. Slow start, strong finish. Another tremendous game. Oh, what did you set the spread to, Angad, for that one? Did I miss it? 28.5. Damn. Yeah, you did really well. JPJ just went 15 for 25. 182 yards, no touchdowns in a game where we put up 44 points. Sweet. And you thought Ocean Gate Submarine was something else. Swab me porthole. 253 yards, 4 touchdowns, 18 broken tackles. Mother of God. Sammy, my friend, it is good to see you. I hope you are well. How the heck are you? How'd the stream go? And welcome in, everybody, to a new era of Navy football. Ooh, Mega Man 3. Old Mega Man 3. 74 rushing attempts in that game. Yeah, and we're set to pass the ball. Really, it's 50-50. But, yeah. Again, no receiving touchdowns. Domingo had 5 receptions. I mean, we just absolutely destroyed them on the ground. There's no other way to put it. Dicka allowed a sack, but I mean, pure domination. Look at the defense, too. 2 sacks for Oh Shit, Oh Fuck, Is a Rock, and Belding each had 1. No interceptions. Our kicker went 3 for 4. 5 for 5 on the extra points. Not bad. Pure domination to begin this season for Navy. 2-0. We'll see if we move up from 4th in the nation, but you watch. Last year we were 0-2 and then won every game except for the bowl game. This year, who knows? Maybe we'll reverse the fortunes and lose every game from here on out. I wouldn't put it past them.